Hello, hello. Good evening, Restoration Talks family. Welcome to a brand new show, Restoration Talks. Today, we're going to discuss a topic, a very interesting topic, the end of the world. There's so many things happening in today's society, and what should we do? What should we do with all these events, all these influences, all this information? That's what we're going to discuss tonight. Know that you're welcome in the comment section. And I'm, of course, not going to do this by myself, but I have a lot of family with me today. So, joining us is Brother Randy. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
There's Stephanie,
Hey,
Brother Samuel, and someone else is going to join us as well very, very soon.
A
So,
mystery guest.
yes, yes, someone that you have not seen before. So please stay tuned for that. But before we start, guys, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Long time, brother Randy.
yeah,
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also
yeah,
doing fine.
same here.
Yeah.
And
How
you?
And you?
Doing fine as well. I'm excited to discuss this topic because I don't know if you guys have been watching the news and everything. There's
Nope.
a lot happening. Oh no,
No, why would I?
oh
Same
nobody.
over here.
I never watch the news, so why would I all of a sudden watch the news because things are happening in the world?
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay.
I'm
And
all over the news.
you're all over.
Yeah, I watch the news all day,
Really.
Okay.
trying to keep
So
up what's happening around me.
yeah, so I assume okay, we picked up a few things this week because of course the topic that we're going to discuss is the end of the world. Um what are your guys' thoughts when you hear the word or the sentence the end of the world?
Sounds like doomsday scenario. Like I have to run and go to the groceries and stack everything and close my door. Those
Hmm.
kinds of things come in my head when I hear end of the world.
Yeah, same for me.
Um, for me,
Yeah,
end of the world. Um, it seems as if extreme things are happening, more chaos, and actually very severe, like what we have never experienced before, but also in line with a little bit what we see in scriptures and times, a little bit of kind of wordplay.
Yeah.
Means that yeah, we are still in the end, of course, but more is happening. That is what
Yeah.
pops up
Yeah,
in my.
yeah. Do you share the same thoughts, Samuel, or the end
yeah.
brings up
It-
something different for you?
No, what they said, and also a lot of destruction, and
Hmm.
just like Stephanie said, chaos.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that are the things that just come into my mind when I think about the end.
yeah. So for everyone, actually, a doomsday type of scenario, and the things that we see happening in our society nowadays, or actually in the world, because we didn't choose this topic
Mama.
without coincidence, of course.
Hmm.
Um, as I said, there's so many different things happening in the world. not
Mhm.
only here in the Netherlands, not only here in the West, also in other countries. And my first question to you guys actually is like, how can someone of the faith stand firm in this world and everything that is actually happening around us?
Very good question.
Ah,
Yeah, someone, someone,
everybody's
Yeah.
quiet.
Maybe it's a very difficult question for some people.
yeah. Is it
Nah,
difficult for you guys to?
it's not
It's a
very
difficult
difficult.
question to answer.
Okay,
Your
so
so
you,
your
What
question was
What are your
how?
thoughts about it?
Yeah, exactly. Please.
Maybe you can
how
help us.
Yeah, sure. So, how to stand firm? It's really developing the right mindset. To be very sincere, because it's just difficult. The influences are coming from different sources, different angles. So it's as if you cannot escape the influence of the things that we see happening around us. Even if you don't want to watch the news or you don't want to enter into the conversations, you will pick up the information that's being brought to you. So I guess for us believers, developing the right mindset, we know the scriptures, of course. We also know that what is um, happening and going to happen. So mentally prepare for that and make sure that when you see the things that are bringing us near the end of the world, and when you see those things happening, that you already in your head have something like, or you have the idea that, okay, things can end very soon. There's not a lot of time left on this earth. So, what can I do to make sure that my soul is actually in a safe state? Yeah, but
But
that's, I would
but I have
say.
a question then. Are you
Mhm,
when you talk about preparing your mind like that,
mhm,
is it that you just okay you because of the times that you're living in, and maybe we live in the Western Hemisphere, we live in Europe, like we don't
mhm.
see many things. You can just still go outside and live your life.
Yeah.
But when you say those kinds of things like, okay, prepare your mind, how does that look like? Are you sitting in your room praying all day, or what does that mean?
Prayer is part of it. No, but I'm not in my room all day. It's just more, for example, I also shared with you guys, if you go to work,
Hmm.
be prepared for maybe the things that you are going to hear, things that you don't want to hear, things that you
Like
not
what?
don't want to see. I remember making the example that this was maybe in the context of um, how do you call that? When they send pictures around, nude pictures and those kind of stuff, how do you engage with that? And for me it was like, okay, this is not the first thing that I actually want to hear in the morning, for example. So I already had to switch my mind, like, what, okay, één oor in, andere oor uit. So I don't take it along with me,
Hmm.
and I guess that everywhere I go now, I have to tell myself that don't involve yourself too much with the things of this world. Don't care too much about the things of this world, because otherwise, you'll be dragged along.
Yeah.
So is how I would do it. Yeah.
But I think before coming to such a stage, you need to first to be you first need to be aware of the
Hmm.
things that you need to reject, right? Because nowadays people just go along with everything. Yeah, go the oh, it's normal. People don't really make a distinguish in okay, these are the things that I actively need to reject out of my life. That, for
Hmm.
example, when you're someone you're let's take for example Christians. They like to you have to be a example. You have to be a light among the lost people, for example.
Hmm.
So they would
Hmm.
then take certain situation as an excuse to then just engage and then okay, when I get in that situation, I will tell them about the Lord. But
Hmm.
how do you combine that in your life, for example? Do you go after work to do they call bottles of soul, like you're going to talk to colleagues about Jesus or
No,
whosoever you preach? Why
no,
why why don't you do that?
no. I don't go to such events, and even if I would go, then I'm still very quiet in
But isn't that part
uh,
of
in such a setting.
yeah?
Okay, but then
Maybe
how do
I'm
you do that? How do you do that, Randy? For example, can you give your personal example? Because
how I do that. I
yeah,
avoid certain situations because I don't have time. That's
mm,
it.
okay.
I don't
Mm.
have time to Oh yeah, I would say waste my time in dealing with the colleagues where I know that I have no connection with them in that sort of way. So I'd rather I find it difficult because they always try to drag you along with it,
Mhm.
and I always think ahead, like I don't want to be found when quote unquote the end of the world comes. I don't want to be found in such a place my
Mhm.
last minutes or last seconds.
Yeah.
I'd rather be found in a different place because that doesn't belong with my lifestyle. So
Mhm.
that's what I can say.
Yeah, but then the other thing is that, as Brittany clearly said, that there's a lot of things happening around us in
Mm-hmm.
this time, and it's not always the case that you can like escape from it because it is out there. So then, what can you personally do? Because sometimes you don't have that opportunity to escape. Maybe you are really like in an environment or situation that maybe people are very fearful or discussing only like the anxious things about the news or about the world. So then what can you do for yourself personally?
Mhm.
In
And
that
then if I have
situation,
to
you
do,
mean?
yes, in that situation, or like in general, like what can you do to remain firm? Like the thing that I can say from myself is um, try not to be distracted. There is a reason why I don't pay attention all the time what is happening in the news, because
Mhm.
it doesn't add something to my life. It is good
Mm-hmm.
to be updated, but I won't check it the whole time. That is a way for me to protect myself and also to keep a certain focus so that I will not get distracted.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no time for fearful people at the moment. I don't have time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can hear what you said because the news can also make you anxious. People that all constantly watch the news, then you're constantly being brainwashed by what the media is feeding you. And to
Mhm.
make a little bridge about that, for example, whole situation in that part of the world right now, you're
Mhm.
only getting fed the news that they want to feed you. So if you're constantly in the news, you're being fed information like
Yeah.
you only hear their part of the story. So
Mm.
that's also a good thing not to always follow the news like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which also brings us to one of our first notions, because, as you said, at the moment there's a war going on. We don't even realize it, but we're actually also in the middle of a war because the Ukraine Russia thing is still going on.
Yeah.
But now there's also war between Israel and Palestine. If you have watched the news, or you have you've not watched the news, you know that this thing is going on. So, what are your initial thoughts about this whole situation? Afterwards, we're going to look at something real quick.
Yeah. For me, I don't even know what's going on right now
Mm-hmm.
because as far as I know,
Mm-hmm.
Israel has always been busy with attacking Palestine, or there's always been some sort of conflict between them. So
Mm-hmm.
when I heard that there was war between them, I thought, oh, Palestine is finally doing something back or officially doing something back.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the issue really is because, like I said, as far as I've read and seen from the news over the years, and not
Mm-hmm.
even the past year, but really maybe in a span of 10 years, Israel has already always been busy with doing something against Palestine. So for
Mm-hmm.
myself, I'm confused about what's going on right now because I also didn't really care too much about it. But maybe it will become more clear by what you guys have to say because, like
Yeah.
I said, it's a bit unclear for me. What's the war about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Do you guys agree? Is that the same
I share the same view
idea?
as you as well. I don't know any details, and um, there's also nothing new. Like maybe it's more clearly seen on social media, and that is how it seems as if things has been escalated or exploded in a way. So yeah, it's like they are controlling our mind also in a way that this is the only thing that is happening in the world. But the
Mm-hmm.
details, like from which side, which part, which group, which organization is behind it, no, I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they're very hypocritical
Mm-hmm.
because
Who is they?
the whole thing that is happening, for example, and mostly the countries around, so
Mm-hmm.
the thing in Israel and Palestine is happening, but now you see that America is trying to interfere with all kinds of things, sending warships
Mhm.
to Israel and those kinds of things. But
Mhm.
when you compare it to, for example, when Ukraine and Russia, when they didn't send ships to Ukraine to fight
Mhm.
against Russia, because Palestina is such a quote unquote a little country. They don't have much weapons and artillery to fight back. Then they think like, oh, we are the big ones. We're Israel. We are America. We're going to send warships to annihilate those people over there. But I think it's very wicked. That's what's happening over there,
Yeah.
because the people that are in that land don't even belong there. So this is a real crazy thing that is happening over
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think also I see Sister Elena and also Charles in the comment section writing along. Hello, welcome. And I think that what Brother Charles also is saying is very important when it comes to this event or this happening is I think that he says I think we have to what we have to do is be spiritually minded. What we feed our mind with determines how we behave or react to certain things. It fits more the context that we were speaking about before, but
Hmm.
also in this same case, have in mind, okay, I see it happening, but have in mind like the bigger picture of it all,
Mhm.
because apart from it also being in the media, the sentiments around it and the way people are responding and all the countries are pro-Israel makes me wonder why it is so important to people. But what you will see is a lot of believers, Christians,
Mhm.
are all like in solidarity of Israel. They're like, pray for Israel. We need to help them. The
But do you
chosen.
know why? Do you also know why they do that? Because they
Please,
believe
please, please,
it's the promised land.
please.
It's,
Mhm,
they are the people of the Bible. That's what they believe, what they
Please,
claim. So that's why they're
mhm.
all in support.
Yeah,
please,
Yeah.
please,
yeah, yeah. And then
please.
you say, please, please, please. You're getting
I'm
headache when she says
I'm
that.
so yeah, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that there.
Yeah.
Everywhere I pray for Israel flag, then you see our people there, you see black people with the flag. I even heard on the Suriname radio station, like in Suriname, where they're going to on Afhankelijkheidsplein, a sort of square in Suriname. Then
Mhm.
Mm,
they raise the flag of Israel and then go to lay flowers there. I was like,
wow.
look at this, and I almost want to shut down the radio because the things that I heard. But I think it's so, because our people don't know their history. They don't know history. They don't know the history of that land. They don't know the history of the people in that land. Then they just go with every wind that blows, and
Yeah.
it's just sad. And when you try to talk to them about it, and
Hmm.
especially believers, they it's like their ears are shut.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, and as Sister Stephanie said, they believe that this is the promised land. These
Yeah,
people are the chosen people of Elohim. So they also immediately link it to signs of the end times, and that is
yeah,
what the next clip is about. So we're going to watch
yes.
it. People at home, please let me know what you think of it. Type it in the comment section. But I'm also curious to see what you guys think of this video clip.
Okay.
Israel has declared it is at war after Hamas militants confirmed they fired thousands of rockets from Gaza overnight in a major multi front surprise attack.
Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight.
War in Israel, and particularly the battle for Jerusalem, sends those who know their Bibles to key Bible verses. The re-establishment of Israel in 1948 was a pivotal event in the fulfillment of Bible prophecy. The prophet Ezekiel, writing over 2,500 years ago, spoke of a future restoration of Israel, saying, "Thus says the Lord God, surely I will take the children of Israel from among the nations, wherever they have gone, and will gather them from every side and bring them into their own land." In 70 AD, Israel was scattered among the nations, and the Jews had no homeland for 2,000 years until 1948, when they became a nation in one day. Isaiah 66 verse 8 says, "Shall the earth be made to give birth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once?" This is what Jesus said of that event. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Since that time, there's been continual conflict between Muslims and Jews for Jerusalem. And none of the nations know how to handle what is commonly called the ongoing Middle East crisis. Listen to Zechariah 12, verses 2 to 3, written thousands of years ago, address the crisis of Jerusalem. And it shall happen in that day, I'll make Jerusalem a very heavy stone for all peoples. Jesus spoke of wars being a sign of the end of the age. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, for nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. All this will climax in the Battle of Armageddon. Revelation 6, verse 16 speaks of the gathering of nations at a place called Armageddon, a term synonymous with a final cataclysmic battle. Have you heard of Armageddon?
Of course,
What is it?
the big war at the end, the true good versus evil.
Jesus said,
Okay, and I will stop the video here. We heard a lot of scriptural verses that they seem to link to the Israel-Palestine war. Samuel, do you think that this is a sign of the end times?
Not necessarily. I think it's
Mhm.
there was something said about rumors of wars, but I don't think the war in Israel specifically is a sign of the end. Because they try to link it to the end, like Randy said, because they are the quote-unquote chosen people.
Mhm.
But when you dive deeper into history and to Bible verses, they try to use Bible verses, but you can also dissect the true Bible verses, and then you can see that they are not the chosen people.
Mhm.
So I also wouldn't necessarily link it to prophecy about the end.
Okay. Okay. So for you, it's just one of many wars that is
Yeah,
actually now happening.
it's
Okay.
one of the white man's wars.
Mm. White man. And Randy and Stephanie, do you think it's a sign of the end times, or do you think differently?
I was also thinking along while you were playing that video. What exactly do they mean with this is the sign with the end of the world, or end of times, or end of the kingdom?
Yeah.
If this is for them a sign, then what does it mean if we see in scriptures that the Messiah was also and the disciples were also talking about the end times? What is then the difference?
Yeah.
Does that mean that that was not the end time also? So this does not also, for me personally, showcase that this is the sign.
Mm-hmm.
If this is how the end times will look like the ending towards the chaos and more hectic, then this is just a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to say, because it is
Yeah.
bad and innocent people are also dying, but then this is not on the max yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. I think it's just one of many wars. There are so many wars happening right now in the world. And I'm always like, when I see such things, for me, it automatically triggers the idea, okay, if they want us to focus on this, what else is happening in the world that they're trying to shift our attention from? And most of the time, that is part of a bigger agenda, and maybe that's something that I would then link to the end times. But Randy, I see you thinking. Do you agree?
Yeah, because there's one thing that went through my mind, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for the people that read Bible so nowadays, but in in the word it says that when Israel will be gathered back into their land,
Mm-hmm.
there would be peace, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole prophecy that the Messiah will restore the people back in their land, and there shall be peace, and no one shall smite them and whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But they are gathered in that land, right? They are so called the people of God, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
are gathered in that land. But is there peace? So if we believe in the Bible that is true, then either the Bible is lying or those people are lying because they are gathered in their land, right?
Yeah.
But there's no peace. There's still war. There's as we can see. So that is something that is very strange. So that ought to raise some question marks. But again, people don't read, and that's
Yeah.
why I don't see it as the end of days.
Mhm.
The end, because wars are always happening. This isn't the first war. You see the war in Ukraine. This is
Mhm.
also a similar war, and it has to become much worse. There are still nuclear weapons that needs to be fired.
You are waiting for those nuclear weapons because you
There's
always ask about them.
there's not even one nuclear weapon fired yet. So how can this be the
Mhm.
end?
Yeah, 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 yeah. People at home, what do you think? Is this a sign of the end times? You heard different pieces of evidence that we bring up, but we're also curious to know what you guys think. And I also see two of our sisters, Sister Abigail and Sister Daphne, also in the comment section. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to join us in the comment section as well. So yeah, the war and stuff, I think this is just going to be something that's going to be in the news for a very long time. You're going to hear it at work, you're going to hear it in schools, you're going to hear it. It's going to be buzzing for a while, and then like every war is going to be something that is further and further at the background of all important news and developments. And there's also another article that I read this week, and that was concerning artificial intelligence. It said that ChatGPT uses a lot of energy, so much energy that is really bad for like the climate and everything. And is it something that we should
Really?
use? Yeah, uses way too much energy, which is a question mark as to if it has good influences on us or not, which also brings us to our second notion, which is artificial intelligence is evil.
I need ChatGPT at work, so please don't bash it too much.
Then you can start, Randy, with your view on is artificial intelligence evil. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, how can we define evil? What is evil? What is actually evil?
Give it
Let
a
me,
nice
yeah,
definition. Yeah.
evil. What is evil, Brittany?
Yeah, evil. I assume
No, no,
being
no, wait, Brittany, don't give him the definition. I
yeah.
Okay,
want.
then
I'm
you
really
give me the
curious. No,
definition.
no, I'm really curious about what Randy is going to say because how do you interpret this notion? What is
Integrate.
evil to you in this context?
Yeah, evil is when I hear the word evil, I immediately think like somebody sitting behind a thing, so and he's evil and he that comes in my head. But when I think of artificial intelligence is evil, I really think that someone developed this. But so the thing in itself is not really evil. I think the person behind it creating it is evil. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean.
Mhm,
Because someone created artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm,
mhm.
So was that person creating it with a good intention or a bad intention? So the thing is actually doing what it is created for.
Yeah, yeah, that's always the question. What was the inspiration behind it when a person was creating this? Because it is insane how I don't even want to call it a machine because it no, it's not a machine, but how is it possible that sources like that or tools like that can bring up so much information from over the entire world and then bring out a very nice answer for you, make your processes faster. I also see that one of the sisters, Helena, she says it can be handy sometimes, but it can make you lazy in your thinking. You see it. A lot of people are now, I don't know. Okay, let me just ask ChatGPT, what is the answer? So, yeah, Samuel, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't call it evil.
Mm-hmm.
Look at like Randy, he didn't really answer the question, but the answer that you can get from what Randy said, it is complicated. You can't just call it evil or good. It also depends on how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
And like you guys also try to discuss the inspiration. Unfortunately, we don't know the inspiration.
We
But what
know.
we
Because
do
the devil
know
is
is
the
that
devil
we
is the
can,
devil.
Samuel, you say he
okay,
doesn't know.
yeah, it's the
The
devil,
devil is
okay, but what we do know is that you can also use it for good. So
and
like
it's Elohim,
Randy
man.
gave an example, he used it for work, but you can also AI also comes in various ways.
Yeah.
It's not only ChatGPT.
Mhm.
And even ChatGPT, you can use it to find sources of information that you otherwise wouldn't even find, because the internet is very complicated. Even though you can ask a simple question, you can get it can generate millions of results. But with ChatGPT, for example, you can narrow it down and even find something good that can help you with your research. You can. I haven't done it myself, but I think you can even do it for biblical purposes, because you can try to link maybe a biblical event to something that happened thousands of years ago. But
Yeah.
to even come up to a specific event will be very hard. But
Yeah.
ChatGPT can, for example, help you find it. And there are also different AIs. So to call the whole artificial intelligence is evil, it's a complicated statement to make for me. Yeah. So for that purpose, I can't call it evil. So it's just something. It is
It's just
something difficult, something complicated.
yeah.
You can use it for good and you can use it for evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what about this then? Because sometimes I hear statement like from believers, especially that you shouldn't use it because it's demonic. So they should stay with Google and
Google is
other.
not demonic.
But
Yeah.
what's the
So
difference then?
how about that? How about that?
Google is so
Yeah.
demonic.
I don't think the developers of Google are any different from the developers of AI. I think yeah, and I think it's also a form of AI as well. But yeah, if you're going to say that you can't use ChatGPT, for example, because it's evil, then just skip the whole internet, skip all technology, because
Your phone, even
well,
your phone, you should just.
even your phone, even you can now even leave StreamYard if you think everything is evil. So that's why I just linked it more to what you are using it for. That can decide whether it's good or evil. Because
But Steph, you said that people say that Google, people say that what would you say, Google is, ChatGPT is evil or something, right?
Yeah, that
But
they don't believe that it's a good source to use
yeah,
it for any type of thing, for work or other stuff. But
but
because it
but
is demonic,
but internet is not evil.
that is you should ask the person. I don't know,
No, but no, but
but I hear
people.
such statements from believers, and they back it also. They back it up in a way that if you like look it from an other side, how advanced it has become,
Yeah.
and the direction that they're also pushing with their agenda, that it should control everything. It should even come to the extent that it will replace people. So they will make clones and robots, so that we don't need humans anymore to do certain works anymore. So that is why
Yeah,
also we say that
but
it is demonic, because the inspiration and the development on that level is bad.
yeah,
I
but
have
internet also started
small.
somehow, and it also developed a certain way.
Hmm.
So, but
Mhm.
they're not saying right now that internet is evil. So, is that the logic that we have to use in life nowadays?
That is a very good question. I see I see Daphne. She says, "I don't think it's evil. Usually, when these new things are being developed, the intention was usually good. It's the big companies who are evil." Do you agree with that? Is it
For me,
about the person that? I'm sorry.
no, sorry, I was interrupting you.
Oh no no no. Go ahead.
No, I really like agree with what Sam said. It is
Mhm.
the intention behind it. What are
Mhm.
you going to use it for? Are you going to create something good out of it,
Mhm.
or something bad? And depending on that, that calls it evil or good.
Yeah 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 yeah
and
yeah.
also something else, because oh, sorry for interrupting. I thought he was done.
No,
But what I was trying to say, sometimes there are also good things that are being used for evil. We then call that thing evil because people are using it for evil.
come
But
again?
but
Wait, come again?
Sometimes there are good things, like you have medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Medicine on itself, you would call it a good thing because it can cure people.
Mhm.
But when people are using it for bad purposes, it's then you are, yeah, people call it drugs, but it's still a medicine. But people are just abusing that thing, and that
Mhm.
makes it evil. But we then call the whole thing evil because people are abusing it or using it for a bad purpose.
Mm.
And that's why I say you can't just simply say it is evil or it is good, because either way it can be used in the opposite way.
Hmm.
So even just making a statement that it is evil, what benefit? Yeah, what will it change? But I don't really. That it was just a question to help you think about what I was trying to say about the purpose and the use behind it, because it can also be said in the opposite way. Even though it's good, it can be used for evil, and even though it's evil, it can be used for good. So
Hmm.
what is the product or the technology on itself then?
Yeah. It's, I think it's hard because the same dilemma that you are, yeah, actually telling us, and I think the same dilemma I can also hear it slightly with Stephanie, but also with what Randy said, is also what the people that we asked at home, what they thought about it, and the opinions were divided, was 50-50. People agree and also people disagree, but as you said, I think it comes to how you use the tool. What is your mindset behind it, and what are you actually going to do with it? I see that Charles also asks us, may I know what evil things the chat GPT can be used for, because I don't know of any.
We'll keep your mind pure, Charles. We don't going to give you
Yeah,
ideas
but
what
then you see
evil.
another one, another comment that someone committed suicide because of bad
Yeah.
advice from ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's actually a thing that happened. Somebody committed suicide
Wow.
because he was depressed and he was talking to ChatGPT, and then even he, ChatGPT gave some kind of advice, and then he killed himself. But then they had to come with an update like you have to prevent such situations to happen.
Oh, okay. Was the scenario that the person was asking a question or something to ChatGPT about?
Yeah, he was using
How?
ChatGPT as a psychiatrist. Yeah,
Yeah, yes,
and they
like
were having dialogues with ChatGPT, and then came to the conclusion like, okay, should I kill myself? Those kinds of questions. I don't really know the details, but it went that way. Like
mhm.
he was asking questions. Okay, then maybe I should kill myself, and then ChatGPT gave some kind of final answer, and then it led to that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So that is one side of it, or something that went to the extreme. Yeah, I think the conclusion of this notion is that Daphne says, I think we will never know the intention of a lot of the technologies we use nowadays. We'll never know what the real idea was behind it, or the inspiration. I think people will be shocked when they find out what the inspiration is behind a lot of things that we do nowadays. And I guess it's maybe the same for artificial intelligence. So yeah, I actually really want to leave this at home with also everyone that is watching. Think
Yeah.
about these things, things that come up, trends, popular things. Always ask yourself, like, why do these things become so popular? What is the influence on human beings when we see these developments? And then decide for yourself whether it is evil or good, something that you want to engage with, or something that you do not want to engage with,
Hmm.
which
But I
also,
don't think we should rely on it.
yeah,
It
yeah.
should just support your work or
Hmm.
add to what you already have, but don't like, make it as if it is your God or your guide or however you want to call it. Then it
Yeah.
becomes dangerous for you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Know that we also have a lot of shows on the Hour of Restoration concerning these topics, media, the things that we see. So make sure that you rewatch those shows as well. But it also brings us to our next notion, which somewhat has to do with this, because I remember that one of the brothers shared that now also with all these artificial intelligence and robots and people marrying robots and identifying as such. And that's another development that we, of course, see when I speak about gender confusion and such stuff. I guess you guys all know what we are talking about, because that's an no, and you do not know what gender confusion is.
Ah,
Yeah. So basically, for everyone who doesn't know what it is, you see a lot of discussion, a lot of debates, a lot of things happening in society concerning what is gender, what constitutes of a gender, who is male, who is female, what makes a male, what makes a female, to the point that it has gone this so far that people don't want to identify anymore with a he or a she. Now it's a they, it is a them. um
It.
yeah, well, it is not it is not there in the list, but it's one of those events that also influences us believers as we are in this world. And that is also the next notion, because it says we can't escape gender confusion, we will have to adapt to it.
Adapt in which way?
Mhm.
Accept it, accept that it's here, accept the people as they are. If someone tells you Randy, you can clearly see maybe it's someone that has undergone surgery. He or she says, I want to be addressed like a he. Also, maybe it's a female, you also yeah, inclined to that. You address that person as a he or a she.
Okay,
Nah.
put draw a situation will when that happens to me, and then I will give you my response. Put a
Oh,
situation.
I'll give that one to either Sam or Stephanie if you can come up with a situation for Randy.
Yeah, come up
A
Yeah,
with a
situation like
situation
what?
for me.
I missed it. I was a little bit distracted.
where he would encounter something like that. So someone being maybe born a male, now a
Oh,
female.
I have an example. It was
Uh,
from my previous work.
yeah.
Okay.
I worked as a family coach, and
Mhm.
I had to guide a family where was a girl or boy. He was first a boy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, no, I said it wrongly. Yeah, a boy. But then he changed into a girl. And this child is only um, 11 years old.
Hmm.
11 years old. So now, for example, you are a coach and you have to guide this child. And you know that it has changed gender, according to this child. How are you
Mhm.
going to treat this child and the family? Are you going to say he or she, and some personal questions comes your way? What will you do?
I would consider switching
Come look,
career.
all of a sudden?
Eh.
Wow.
No. Um. I really would try find a way out. To be honest, because I would just go to the manager. Like, say, I really find it hard to deal with such a person. Like, can I have a conversation with you at least about this?
Mhm.
Like, I think there are people that are better educated to deal with such a person, and I would of course ask advice at people around me, because nowadays it's not wise to do such a thing. They will go to HR and you might lose your job. So before doing that, I would seek advice from people around me.
Mhm.
And yeah, in the worst case scenario, I would call in sick or whatsoever. I try to find a way out.
So for you, you will escape
I
this
would try.
whole.
I would try each and every
Wow.
thing that I can do.
Mhm.
But you yeah, it's also something to consider, because when you do a job like that, you place yourself into a position where you have to deal with different people. You will have to deal with each and every you have to deal with new person each and every time.
Mhm.
So you already have to prepare your mind for such a situation. And I know myself that I don't like to deal with people in those kinds of situation.
Mhm.
I try to yeah, try to
Okay,
rather.
then another question for you, Randy, because then I see clearly that you will escape this whole case. You will not even continue to guide this child or this family. But then, what does it make you? Like you said that you are a believer, you want to make a difference,
Hmm.
you want to stand up on your own ground. So, how would you then show that? How would you make sure that at least you have sparkle your light instead
Show
of
what? What?
sleeping?
Which light?
Because this family has a problem, and the main issue is not
Mhm.
uh, the gender confusion. maybe there are other stuff, but still I hear that you will escape this case.
And what if the
I did
gender
not, I did
confusion
not,
is?
I
What
did
if?
not escape because it was part of
Mm,
my work.
yeah.
And maybe to give you like an example of what
Mm-hmm.
I did, I still
Mhm.
continue to do my work, but I make sure that I don't go into details about when it comes to gender. For gender cases, I just refer this family and this child to the doctor,
Mhm.
somebody who is a specialist, because that is not part of my expertise. So I will only focus on the question that came in, and the question was about anxiety of the child. It was not going well at school, and then parents also would like to have my support in communicating with the school. So then that is how I kept my focus.
Mm.
That is also a way to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
find it a very difficult one on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
To be
I can
honest.
imagine. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people find it difficult to deal with it if it's not something you actually want to mingle yourself with. Helena says, I think you should just treat them normal and don't mingle with them just like another colleague or classmate, if that's the context in which you would meet these people. I think, but I think a lot of people would have the same issue of Randy. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's yeah, I don't want to adapt to this, so yeah, what do I have to do with it? I think for me, I would personally have the same approach as Stephanie. Do what I have to do in that sense. Don't go too deep into the topic. And if the child comes with, yeah, but I don't know, I hear voices in my head. I don't know if I am a man or a woman. Yeah, just keep it very, how would I say it? Surface level, or literally just say, with these questions, I cannot help you further. Maybe I can refer you to someone who's more specialized in the area of sex changes and such kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I think those at home, if you have a similar type of situation, because know that this is just the beginning.
Have you ever encountered such a situation ever in your life, Brittany?
Oh yeah.
Okay, please, 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 please.
Yeah, also in the context of maybe a younger child.
Mhm.
Um, and for me, it's more so I address that person than with the name, because for me, I didn't know for sure whether this was a boy or a girl. So if, how people would interact with that person
Mhm.
would be like a girl. So I was like, okay, but the way the person looked was like a boy. I was so confused. I was looking at things maybe that the person had around him or herself,
You're
so that
seeking for answers, eh?
yeah, I really was looking like, yeah, I don't know what gender this is. So I just asked the person's name, and that's the way I
Yeah.
refer to
I know the struggle, yeah.
the person. So for me, afterwards, I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is a difficult situation to handle." So, those at home, have you also encountered such a situation? Please let us know how you went about it. And as I was saying, this is just the beginning, guys. Also to you, Stephanie and Andy, this is just
Yeah,
it's just going to get
crazy.
worse.
And you
And
may think that Randy, I'm more pointing
mm,
at what you said. You may think that it's only happening in schools or maybe in healthcare or whatever, but it will be everywhere, also in the IT. So then, what are you
mm,
going to do? What are you going? It will be everywhere. Maybe, for example, tomorrow you go to your workplace and then the colleague, the manly colleague you thought he was, is now.
mm.
Would you not talk to him again?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's very sad.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm going to shut my eyes and
it's
I don't want to
it's
talk about it, please, please, next.
it's hard. It's really hard. There also, I can recall a situation where maybe was in public transport or something, and then maybe a person come sit next to you, and I'm just so focused as I'm looking at the person. I'm like, something is off. Something doesn't make sense in the
Or
equation.
voice, the dress.
Yeah, the voice, and then you see hair like a woman, but then you see the Adam's apple, and then I'm like, wait. How? How?
I have a counter thought that came up in my
Yeah.
mind, because there are some countries where you cannot do these things, right? Like, for example, if you go to Saudi Arabia or Dubai, would you see transgenders there walking on the streets?
I'm not sure what the.
Not not like so visible in public as in this part of the world, like in the western side, western
Yeah,
part.
because the thing that the reason why I said it was because if you would like to seek a mindset or a place where you don't have to really accept these things or don't see it all in your face like we do it over here, maybe it's, yeah, a thought. I don't know. I don't want to say like I would go there, but maybe it's a thought that you can go to such a country and live there, then you don't
Mhm.
have to deal with it like we have to do here in the West.
Mm.
How do you guys feel that? Is that an option, or is that like, nah, then I have to deal with other issues when I go over there?
I find it a very extreme and drastic solution to a problem that is worldwide. So don't think that it's not in Saudi Arabia or such
But
countries.
not in the street like you see it here, right?
Oh, like open, like
Yeah,
openly.
open like this. It won't bother you at your workplace, for example, right?
Mhm.
Or on the street, you sit in the metro, you see a transvestite or whatsoever crazy people you see here in this land sitting in the metro when you're in Saudi Arabia like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would have such a situation in Saudi Arabia, but I don't, yeah, my mind would not automatically go to, okay, I'm going to now move from the Netherlands to another country where they don't have this. I would just advise myself to go about such situations very,
Yeah.
very carefully, and really like limit contact with these people, because you may think like, oh, I'm being nice and friendly. Before you know it, they come with their stories. Before you know it, they're going to influence you. You are going to think about certain things. You are going to become more how do you call that, noem je dat? Dat je niet meer gewoon in één, you don't have like one opinion anymore. So your opinion is divided
Mm-hmm.
concerning this whole issue. So that's really what is most important for me, to stay away from these people, and just do what I have to do. We don't have any option. We live here. Um, um, yeah, there's not a lot that we can do. Just really pray to Elohim to guide us through this all, and walk in wisdom when it comes to this situation.
And the other thing that I would like to chip in is also that we should not get compromised. It will be very like in the open, in the audience, in public, I mean, sorry. And
Mhm.
it is trying to come near to us so that we will also adapt. And first we will think this is not okay, but then you will approve it and say that it is normal. So it
Mhm.
is very important for us that we rather focus more on how can we be an example for the next generation? How can we keep
Mhm.
on educating our younger ones, our children, our
Mhm.
people that this is abnormal, that we can never accept this. That is actually the, the, the,
Yeah. Mhm.
I
the
think that
mindset that we should have.
I
Yeah.
think we have to actually find a way to deal with these situations and lifestyle and not lose our minds, because
Mm.
as the conversations that I had with different brothers,
Mhm.
everywhere is poverty, everywhere is a situation where you have to deal with it. In some other area it's something
Mhm.
else, in some other area it's something else, and over here we have to deal with bodies. So you have to we have to find a way to balance it out and try to survive in the region that you're living and deal with the issues over there. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I think that's a very nice conclusion to the discussion of today. We discussed many things. We discussed
Oh,
the
eh,
wars.
what is?
Discussed the artificial intelligence, gender confusion. I would just literally say, people, be very aware of your surroundings, and the things happening, maybe these are not necessarily the signs of the end times, but yeah, don't think that there's a lot of time left. Make sure that you are in right standing with your creator. Make sure that your mindset is also prepared, and make sure that wheresoever you go, as Brother Charles nicely said, be spiritually minded. Be very careful to the things that you take in, how you react, your behavior, the things that you say. Watch. If there are no further comments, nuggets from Stephanie or Randy? No.
No, nothing
No.
special. Just keep your focus, people.
Yeah.
There's nothing new that they are trying to bring to you on all platforms. Keep your focus. Stay truthful to the Most High. Seek His
Yeah.
truth, and there is where you will find peace, not
Yeah.
news and elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to find your past, know where you come from, know what your identity is, so that you know that these things that these people are trying to impose on you, that it doesn't belong to who you are. So you
Mhm.
don't have to accept it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Very nice. So please, people, take this along. So, Brother Randy, thank you very much for joining again. I think the people were very happy to see you. So thank you. And Sister Stephanie also for joining us. And also our brother Sam, who couldn't be with us for the rest of the show, but thank you for also contributing. I think we learned a lot from each other, and I hope that you at home also learned a lot. So I would say bye to you guys. Bye, Stephanie. Bye, Andy. And to the people at home, make sure that you tune in tomorrow to the Hour of Restoration. We're still going to discuss the no forgiveness of punishment, part 2. And afterwards, or the weeks after, we are going to discuss a brand new theme, brand new topics, and it has to do with a few things that we also discussed today. So make sure that you're there tomorrow, 12 p.m. sharp, and the weeks after. We hope that you enjoyed Restoration Talks. Next week will be a Dutch edition again, so know that you're also welcome to join us in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in today, and have a nice Sabbath. Bye.